for visibility.
Yeah, sure. Wow. New shows up.
But whenever anyone has a chance, I think it'd be good to hear an overview about whatever is happening in the sales world. Heather, I think you might have started the recording a bit late.
Yeah, I did. I just realized while we're in the middle of it. Sorry about, we didn't talk about too much beforehand, just like getting into the sales project stuff. Before we were talking about conferences that are upcoming that Bishwa and Vitaly is thinking about joining. Yeah, we don't really have a lot of topics now. Are you thinking with the sales stuff just to plan for something in the future then? Like
Like for would a future session be appropriate to actually go over and share an overview about sales?
Yeah, I was thinking of starting with the authorization, change of authorization, like because we now you're using JWT, right? But we will be using JWT for the internal calls. And I think while touching that, this will probably also explain why, because of the sales architecture change. Yeah, I can do that for next because I think end of this quarter, I mean, it's the next 1 or 2 weeks, we'll also have kind of basic implementation of this done, so that we'll have some testing of our this new JWT based authentication, and then I think I can give a walkthrough in the architecture review thing. So probably early August. Yeah.
Yeah, if there's anything that, we should be thinking about now that makes it easier for that transition, or, once this change is made, like that we need to watch out for future implementation.
Yeah, sure. I think there are two things. First thing mainly is like whenever we add, if we are working on a feature that needs a new internal endpoint to be added, or like existing one to be modified, then please consult with us. And like we have created this checkbox on MR. I mean, that's the one thing we thought like a low hanging fruit that could at least give some, some heads up over there. So like addition of new internal endpoint would be good to review by one of us, like Joji, me, or Sri, since we are kind of working at the moment on this. And second would be like GraphQL will not be supported in like Sales 1.0 because of the routing issues and all these things. So the internal call shouldn't be like GraphQL kind of thing. We are already there was one internal call that was doing GraphQL query from CustomerDot to GitLab. We already migrated that to the REST API, REST internal, and yeah, hopefully we should not add any new one unless we have this GraphQL routing kind of sorted in sales. And that's also in this MR checklist at the moment. Yeah. And just to say, I think we also have a we have this document over here where whenever I try to open the architecture meeting notes, it's always my private account that tries to open it, and I have to always switch. I don't know why. We also have draft on the JWT auth changes here, and probably like next. I mean, I'm on vacation, but also will be done by end of this quarter. So like when we will have this sales related walkthrough call in like early August, I can also give more overview from that document, like kind of explain it around.
Cool. That sounds great. I look forward to that in the future. I also had a short one here, which I posted in Slack, but just wanted to raise it here and also get feedback on the way it's currently working. But there's a change to the reviewer roulette workflow. We added a new category for documentation. Previously, this would trigger a front end and back end reviewer suggestion in roulette for CustomersDot MRs, and we changed it to have this new category just for documentation, and that will suggest just a reviewer, not really a maintainer. I think that's probably good enough for our purposes in CustomersDot, but I was also sort of curious if others had thoughts if we should also have like 2 reviews for documentation changes, but I could see it going either way.
Yeah, usually we need some technical writer review, right? That's more important. Or like, do we have that in CustomerDot too? Because in GitLab, when we change some API and there's some auto-generated GraphQL documentation, like there's a technical writer like kind of giving a bit of like, hey, maybe this makes sense better and all these things.
I think we could. CustomerStot's a little different because a lot of it is internal facing. So if it's externally facing, then it makes a lot of sense to do it. But some of our docs are internal, and I'm not sure that I know we don't do it for all of them.
Agree.
Yeah.
I think yeah, like I said, like for this GraphQL, it's more public facing API that's in GitLab.com and people will probably try to use it. So that makes sense to have a bit more extra eyes. But yeah, for CustomerDot, it's for developers by developers probably. So
Yeah.
should be fine.
So yeah, that's a good point. I didn't even consider that part. So technical writer, it could be something we could improve in the future, especially if it becomes, a public project, which is something that we have discussed in the past. But yeah, do we think it should have 2, like a maintainer suggestion as well, and go through that? Like a lot of times we just go through one, and a lot of times we'll have you know back end changes or front end changes that accompany a documentation change. So may not even be necessary if we already have a couple reviews in the other category. But yeah,
I'm for like going only with one, and like say if we see some regression or something like that, then we can go with 2 like if needed, but let's make it more simpler and easier and more
okay.
like let's trust the developers for us, like doing a good thing, right thing, and put some restriction, yeah, when if needed, yeah, later.
Cool. Um, any other topics that we want to discuss today? Cool. Well, thanks everybody for joining. Have a great day.
Cheers.
Bye.
Bye.